Hi again folks, how's all doing? Here we go with episode 8 of In the Shed. Let's have a look at what I've been up to lately. First up is this old Hornby 2P that was sent to me by Paul. This was in a bit of a state and needed a complete strip down, clean and rebuild. When I removed the drive wheels on the tender, one of the axles snapped, which is not something I've encountered before. I was able to replace it though. The motor needed new brushes and springs, and once everything was cleaned up, re-lubricated and reassembled, it ran. But, I've worked on a few of these models and they definitely aren't Hornby's finest. They always seem to run a wee bit lumpy, I find. I think the locomotive is just too light, and I don't think the sprung drawbar is a good idea on this model at all. A fixed drawbar and hard wiring would be a good idea on this model. This old Hornby 4P was sent to me by Peter. This had been subjected to some severe jiggery faffery with some very crude makeshift pickups glued onto the underside. The wiper pickups were worn away, which explained why someone tried to fit makeshift ones, but you can get replacement blade pickups, so why go to all the trouble of trying to make and fit these things? Just buy some new blade pickups and fit them. Job done. So I fitted new pickups, gave the model a service, and it ran fine. A wee bit of a wobble on the drive axle, but that's not unusual for one of these with a high mileage. It's just wear and tear. Old models, you can never expect them to run perfectly. This Helen Class 17 was sent to me by Chris. He said it ran okay in one direction, but was very hesitant in the other. Apart from some mangled pickups, which I sorted out, I couldn't see any physical reason for this not running properly in one direction, but I immediately suspected the DCC decoder that had been plugged into the model. I removed that and plugged in a blanking plate, and right enough, the model ran absolutely fine. Either the chip was faulty or needed reset or something, but Chris is a DC guy, so this 17 went back to him with a blanking plate fitted as a DC model. There was barely room for the chip, which was causing the cab to bulge a little, so it's better off without it. A chap called Glenn sent me this Hornby Class A4 Wild Swan and told me that it was running very hesitantly. On inspection, the model mostly appeared to be in very good, clean condition and didn't appear to need anything done to it at all, apart from the drawbar. It has one of those sprung drawbars and the spring was damaged. The axles on the locomotive were a bit dirty and oily, so I cleaned them up and had a spare replacement drawbar. I made sure to clean the screw, the spring and the screw hole for the pony truck to ensure a good connection, and the model ran fine. I don't like these sprung drawbars at all, and one with a broken spring is going to be an issue. Thankfully, I had one spare, as they're otherwise very hard to come by these days. This Trang B12 was sent to me by Ian. He didn't send me the tender, unfortunately. The live wire had been connected to the wrong brush, which was the main reason this wasn't running. The rods were on upside down, so clearly this had been subjected to a fair bit of jiggery faffery. I gave it a service, disconnected the smoke unit, as I think they tend to affect the running and just add noise. Don't like them. Put it all back together properly, and it ran as well as you could expect one of these to run. A lady called Sarah sent me this old double Denby Castle that belonged to her grandfather. I thought this would be an identical model to my double Cardiff Castle, but instead of a Ringfield motor, it had a half-inch motor fitted with a neodymium magnet. The model had been seriously overgreased, by far and away the most overgreased model I've worked on. It was absolutely caked in this stuff. The brushes were completely worn out and I had a bit of trouble getting hold of replacements till I luckily found some on eBay. I stripped it all down, cleaned away all of the grease, replaced the neodymium with an original magnet and remagnetised it, rewired the pickups, and it ran fine. As always with these old models, they're pretty much bulletproof if looked after and will run forever if maintained. But yeah, they don't run perfectly, but this runs as well as you would expect it to. Paul sent me this Bachman split chassis Ivet tank. You can probably guess that it needed new axles. Same old story, and I gave it the usual split chassis treatment. Not the best run of this one though. I think it had done a fair bit of running in its life, and the chassis was wearing down a bit at the axles. Sometimes these old split chassis models are like that and run a wee bit on the lumpy, clunky side because of the wear and tear. They just suffer the effects of old age, like us all. Alan sent me this non-running Triang Princess Victoria. The live wire had become disconnected from the pickup. The drawbar hook on the tender was loose. Other than that, it really just needed the usual service and remagnetising. I soldered the live wire, fitted a screw to the drawbar hook on the tender, and once all serviced and back together, it ran okay. A little hesitant in reverse, which I put down to wear. I think a good run in reverse would help it. Again, as I see a lot in these older models, that they do suffer from the effects of age, and it's not really fair to expect them to be perfect runners unless you replace all the moving parts, which isn't really viable in most cases. And finally, this Trang EM2 was sent to me by Colin, as it was a non-runner. The motor was in a bit of a manky old state and looked to me as if it had been fiddled around with a bit. A complete strip down, clean, remagnetise and rebuild was in order. Thankfully the bearings were okay, which is usually the main issue with these motors. I fitted a contact washer to the top of the motor to make the continuity a bit more reliable, and it now runs as well as you can expect one of these to run. So there we go, that's some of the other locomotives I've been working on recently. There'll be more soon, and a couple of repair requests probably. But I'm about to start tearing my studio room apart to redecorate it and build a new workstation and stuff. I've been threatening to do this for years, but it's finally happening. During that time I probably won't be doing any repair requests. I just won't be able to. I won't have a workstation, so yeah, there'll be a bit of a pause with repairs. I'll see if I can get some kind of other video content out though. I certainly plan to show you what I've done. Once I build a new workstation, I'll give you a little guided tour, and you'll see my new workbench and all the tools I use and all the rest of it, which is something an awful lot of you have asked me to do. But nah, you really wouldn't want to see my current workbench. It's just a disaster. But once the room's redecorated and I've built a new workstation, I'll let you see what I've done. Meantime, catch us later, folks.